Hello everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have this quick little card for us, of course, today. I'm going to be using the Celebrating You Cling stamp set. This is in our Spring Mini, and I believe it is carrying over in the annual catalog. I should have checked that, but you guys should have your annual catalogs by now so you can check it for yourselves. I love all these small sentiments because they're great for these smaller tags. This one comes from the Scalloped Contours die. It's the smallest one in that, but they're all this fun scalloped edges, and some have stitching and some have open sections. So they're my new favorite die from the catalog at the moment, just for making tags and mounting pieces. So I'm going to put one together for you today. I've actually done two already. I'm going to show you. I've got this one that I did in the Pale Papaya, okay, and then I've done another one in Poppy Parade. And then today I'm going to do one on video for you in Pool Party. So it was all P's this week. Poppy Parade, Pale Papaya, and Pool Party. It just happened that way. So here are my pieces that I'm starting with. So I've got my card base, and I've embossed it with the Time Worn type embossing folder just to give it a little bit of texture for the background. Okay, not distracting, but just a little texture. Like I said, I used the contoured, Scallop Contours die, and I cut a piece for my backer. And then I cut a piece of white for my little tag. Okay? Now I'm just going to do my stamping real quick because there's only stamping the tag, so this is a pretty easy stamping project. The rest of it's all just paper and ribbon. So I'm just going to take my tag and I'm going to stamp the Just For You in the center. Now I am using the Poppy Parade for the sentiment. I just wanted to give it a little pop and bring in the color from the DSP. Okay? So this goes together pretty easy. I'm going to show you a couple tricks though. So first off, I'm going to use my multi-purpose adhesive, the green glue, to put on this piece of Designer Series paper, which I just cut down to fit within that stitched border on my frame. So that just has an extra piece of edging, right? We've got the stitching and then we've got the scalloped edge. Then I'm going to add my ribbon. Now, I only had the Pale Papaya ribbon, which I could have used, but I decided I wanted to dye my ribbon to match. So I'm just going to show you real quick how I dyed my ribbon. There's lots of different ways you can do it. If you have the blend pens, Stampin' Blend pens in your collection for the color you want, you could use those. You can use a Stampin' Write marker, or you can use your ink pad. I'm going to show you the two ways I did it. So let me just bring in a mess mat here so I don't get ink everywhere. So I just got a piece of scrap. So I'm starting with a light colored ribbon. Usually I go with a white or a cream, but I wanted to use this satiny ribbon, so I went with the Pale Papaya, which is light enough. So if you want to use your marker or use your blend pen, you just literally paint on your color until it dyes the ribbon the darkness you want. So that's pretty easy, right? And it is going to leave some ink on my sheet underneath, so that's why I brought in an extra sheet, just to keep my workspace clean. But you see how quickly that dyes that ribbon? And it doesn't take too long to dry. I mean, you want it dry so you don't get ink all over your fingers, but that's pretty easy. So that's how I did the Poppy Parade. But if you don't have the markers or the blends, you can use an ink pad. Okay, it's the same ink in our markers, but it's the ink pad. So what I would do here is I'm just going to lay my ribbon on top of my ink pad. I usually use a piece of scrap cardstock, and I just press my ribbon into my ink pad just to transfer that ink. So again, we're just coloring a light color ribbon with the ink we already have on hand. So whichever type of ink you use most, whether it's the ink pad or the re-inkers work, markers or the blend, I'll get it done. So see, I was able to dye my ribbon to match my card. Okay, so I've pre-dyed the ribbon for the project for today. So here's my piece of ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on and then mount it to my card. So I'm going to kind of find the middle, okay, and then I'm going to put this in here. So my middle is kind of on the one side because I want my bow on the other side. So here's a little thing I've learned over the years. Okay, so first off, I'm going to secure it to the back with dimensionals. So if you can use your tape runners or any other kind of adhesive you want, but I'm going to use my dimensionals because I'm going to end up putting it on my card with dimensionals anyways. So I'm just going to stagger 2 dimensionals there and make sure it's kind of straight over here, and 2 on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to add the extra for the bottom and the top, so that'll be ready when I want to mount it. Now for tying my bow, okay, let's say it's going to go on like this. I'm going to do it upside down, and what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to put a little dab of, not dab, I'm going to use a mini glue dot and just put that where I want to tie my bow. Okay, now I'm doing it upside down, and I'm going to do the little rhyme that my grandma taught me all those years ago. Right over left and under. Okay, and then I'm going to cinch that knot down onto my glue dot. I'm going to tie my bow upside down. So I make 1 bunny ear, make a 2nd bunny ear, and I tie my little bow, pull my ears through, catch those ears, and then I just tug, pull it down. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I can straighten out my bow so I can make it a little smaller. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hold the tails and pull on the ears, right, the loops. And I can do that a couple of times, just my size, until it's not too big, not too small, even on both sides, just the way I want it. But I've learned that if I do it upside down to start, my little tails end up at the bottom, which is where I want them. Okay, so then I'm just going to trim this off so it's kind of even on the 2 sides. I go back over and I flip these backers off. So now I can stick it to my card. All right, and this is just one piece mounted on the other right in the middle, so it's really simple framing. So just like that. And then I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back of my tag here. Just 2. And I'm going to put that next to my bow. See how quick that card came together? And think of all the cardstock you have, all the DSP you have, whether it's current or retired, that you could make that really simple framed card with, in any color you have, with any print you have, and just copy it right on up. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the project today. Right, it's not super involved, it's kind of fun and easy. You just got to do some die cutting to start, pull out a ribbon that coordinates or dye a ribbon to match, and make your sentiments. And now I'm ready to go. I've got 3 cards I can use for pretty much anything. Just for you, could be any occasion. So there we go. Alright guys, remember you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can hop over to the blog. The link is below. I'll have all the details there for this project. And if you're going to be shopping for supplies, please shop with me. That helps me out, helps me continue to share with all of you. Alright everybody, do some fun stamping today. Bye-bye.